Official YouTube channel. So today we are having a webinar session on National ICT Awardees journey. So today we are going to know about a person who is a national awardee. You can also be a part of this live interactive session of this webinar. You may dial 8800440559 and you can send us an email if you would like to on training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. These are the coordinates of contact. So in this today's webinar, we are going to connect with our expert, our national awardee teacher. Mrs. Suma Paul is the expert for today's session. She is the principal of Assisi Vidyaniketan Public School, Kakkanad, Kochi. Mrs. Paul, namaskar and a very warm welcome in the session.
Namaskar, thank you, Rahul.
Pleasure to have you here, and we are very happy and we are very excited to know about the journey of a national ICT awardee. So, how would you like to start your journey? You know, would like to share with us, how would you start?
Well, I'll start with my education background.
All right, please go on.
So, today's presentation I'll be explaining.
We can see the presentation, yes?
So, I have completed my MSc in Information Technology. And for my graduation, I have won a scholarship from Mahatma Gandhi University. I have also taken Bachelor in Education from MG University. I was the 4th rank holder there. And I have done my A-level in Computer Science from Department of Electronics, Government of India. I have also taken course in Test of English as a foreign language.
Okay.
The following awards: the CBSE Teacher Award, National and Global Teacher Accreditation from Cambridge Education Foundation, United Kingdom, and International Award. I have 25 years experience in teaching and administration. Now I'll go through the milestones in my journey, one by one will do. So I started my career in 1997 in Rajagiri Public School, Karamasheri, Kochi, as a computer science teacher. In 2011, I got a chance to visit Watchong Institution in Singapore, and I could observe the ICT curriculum there. I revamped the curriculum in my school based on the curriculum I observed there. And in 2013, I did an year-long action research and won the Global Teacher Accreditation with a commendation. In 2014, on winning the commendation, I got a chance to visit the schools in the United Kingdom and observe the ICT curriculum there. In 2017, I won the ICT Award. The following year, I got the CBSE Teacher Award. In 2020, I took charge as the principal of Assisi Vidyaniketan Public School, Kakkanad, Kochi in Kerala. So I started my career in 1997 as a computer science teacher. When I joined my school, I was the only computer science teacher there. So I had to draft the curriculum, the computer science curriculum, till class 10. Every year, I used to revamp it on the latest developments in the technology. Apart from the curricular activities, I was also involved with the co-curricular activities. So I used to design the invitations, program sheets, and during that time, I used to design using PowerPoint, and later on, I shifted to CAD, Publisher, etc. Videos for the various programs, the promo videos, and other videos for the programs were also designed by me. So initially, we resorted to Microsoft video creation software, Movie Maker, and later on, I navigated to Filmora, then to other free online softwares. I used to do a lot of presentations also for the various programs. Posters were created by me. So initially using the PowerPoint and later on navigated to Prezi, Google Slides, etc. I used to maintain the digital repository in the school. All the activities we had computerized and we used to save that in software. In 2011, I got a chance to visit Watchong Institution in Singapore. It is ranked as the #1 school in Singapore. And I observed the ICT curriculum there. The ICT curriculum includes a lot of integrated projects. Even the computer lab over there, designed in such a way where the students will get a chance to develop projects. That is, they could do group activities. So the lab, the center area of the lab, there was space for doing group activities. So we revamped the computer lab in our school based on this pattern, this structure, so that the students could freely do group activities. I have digitalized the school election process. So earlier we used to do it manually and it nearly took one whole day to complete the election process. Once we automated the process, it took just an hour to complete the process and declare the results. And it was quite interesting for the students because it was exactly a simulation of the election process. The students could exercise their democratic rights using the software created by me. So the children were taking the election in the school computer lab. I also helped my students to create the app. So using the Android Studio, they learned to create apps and they developed an app for mathematics named Triculator, and they presented it during the Psychosocial Science and Maths exhibition. This was developed by 9 students. I was the coordinator of the inter-school program, Tech Wizard, conducted by the school. So we made the young children, the budding programmers of classes 6 to 8, develop animations using Scratch software and Greenfoot. So it was amazing to see the programs developed by them. The jury was in all awe for the programs which they developed, and we rewarded the students. These are the enthusiastic programmers of classes 6 to 8 developing the animations using Scratch and Greenfoot. I used to conduct summer camp. That is, once the examinations are over, we used to conduct summer camp for the students of classes 6 to 8 for 3 to 4 days. And I used to conduct the personality development program for them, and it was conducted in the computer lab. The students were asked to develop posters on a particular topic. So these are the posters developed by the students as part of the summer camp. We have conducted cybersecurity awareness workshop in our school. I was part of the roundtable conference organized by a famous educational magazine, Palikoda. So I have got opportunities to speak about the ICT development in various areas. So this particular roundtable conference, we discussed about whether technology will replace teachers or not. So my answer was like, of course, we can use technology to develop teaching aids, because augmented reality is being used for developing games and students are quite fascinated about it. Why don't we use this technology to develop teaching aids? Again, I was the coordinator for the computer gaming competition organized for class 12 students in the school. The children did the entire planning, conducting everything. I was just the coordinator for that. It was again conducted in our computer lab. So in 2013, I have won the Global Teacher Accreditation. I had undertaken an year-long action research on the topic, how to make learning programming interesting for the students. So this was a project from British Council, the School Connect program of British Council. The director of Cambridge Education Foundation, Ms. Angela Cook, was the resource person for the same. Twice I had to go to Chennai, and under her leadership, I was trained as how to go about with the action research. I conducted the action research in the school with the students of my classes 11 and 12. So I had developed teaching aids and presentations for them for various topics and took class based on that. And after the classes, I conducted assessment for them, and gradually I could see improvement in their performance, and they started liking programming. So my year-long research, the findings of that, I submitted it to Cambridge Education Foundation in United Kingdom, and this is the feedback which I received from them. So they were highly appreciative about my work, and they said I'm a very enthusiastic and hardworking teacher, and they asked me to share my findings with the schools in United Kingdom. The British Council also published my work in their journal titled Reflective Practitioners' Journeys of Action Research from India. I received the award from Dr. B.K. Renchit, Deputy Director, Ministry of Education from Government of Nepal. The British Council organized the program in Kolkata, and I received the award from him. So the winning the award, it came in the newspapers.
Okay.
And winning the Global Teacher Accreditation gave me a chance to visit the schools in United Kingdom. I visited Royal Docks Community School in Lenton and Summerley Community Primary School in West Sussex. So I observed the ICT curriculum there. I found that right from an young age, they start teaching programming. So which they say will help the children in learning numeracy. So it will help the children in learning the mathematical concepts. So we revamped the curriculum in our school by introducing programming like from lower classes. Of course, we went for programming languages like Scratch and Brainfoot for the little ones. So these are the integrated projects which the students have developed. So we have integrated that multidisciplinary approach we have adopted. So ICT was in fact collaborated with all the other subjects, and projects were developed by the students in the computer lab. These are the 3 projects developed by the students. And the ICT environment in my school was like the India question papers, mark list, office process, everything was automated, and the classrooms were all ICT enabled ones. So the students used to present their work in the class assembly, and they used to create promo videos for various programs. Now, another area of my passion was quizzing. So I developed a blog for quizzing, and I used to upload the materials in my blog, and even the online assessments also I used to upload on the blog. And my students, the members of the quiz club, used to take these quizzes from the blog. Then I used to conduct quizzes in the school. I used to create extract videos and audios using Format Factory and other software, and include that in the quizzing questions. So our students benefited immensely from these quizzing blogs and the online quizzes which we conducted. Again, there was a customized software for the quizzing which we had installed in our computer lab, and during lunch break we had given the freedom for the students to come and take these quizzes using these software. That also helped them to update their current knowledge, and the students have won prizes for various in-the-school events after practicing quizzes using these software. So after taking the quiz, the results were shown to them. And for teaching my subject, informatics practices and computer science, I created blog for the same, and I uploaded the video tutorials on each topic onto my blog, and also the materials related to the topic on my blog. So this was a time before the pandemic where the blogs and other software media or other digital media were unaware for majority of the teachers. Only the computer teachers were proficient in all these. So this was a time when we used all these online media for teaching learning. And the classrooms were all ICT enabled, and I used to introduce my topics through a 1-minute video. The topic was elicited from the students using these intro videos. And the students also took seminar topics. They prepared presentations and drafts. These are the presentations which were uploaded in the classrooms, in the classroom panels, and they used to take classes using these presentations. And I used to experiment with flipped classroom pedagogy. I used to assign the topics to the students. I used to share the study material with them and the assignment with them. So they used to prepare from home. They used to do the assignment. The next day, we used to have a brainstorming section in the class wherein all the doubts were cleared. So after the brainstorming sessions, I used to conduct online assessment for the students. So using these brainstorming sessions, their doubts were clarified. So the ICT enabled teaching, which was happening, of course, before the pandemic. So this is the computer lab. I used to conduct online assessments for them. I also used to upload Google Forms and props quizzes on my blogs also for the students to take the assessment. Also used to issue the question papers also to them as part of the assessments. I used to conduct or organize various in-service training for the teachers in the use of various innovative software. Then the children were engaged in the ICT integrated projects in the computer lab. So after doing all these activities, my school, my principal and my vice principal gave me the chance to apply for the ICT award. When the nomination came for the same, when the applications were called for the same by CIT, NCRT, my school authorities asked me to apply for the same since I have done a lot of work in the field of ICT. So I applied for the same, and after the initial screening, I was called for the presentation before the jury in Delhi. So I did my presentation before the members comprising of the eminent members of the CIT and CRT. So I did my presentation, and then later on I was declared as one of the winners of the National ICT Award from the CBSE category. Teachers were nominated, and out of that, 3 of us won the award in 2017. I'm indeed indebted to CIT and CRT for this, because this was the first opportunity for me wherein I was noticed on the public platform, and it gave me a lot of recognition. So after winning the CIT and CRT award, the Joint Director, Behra Sir, posted in our group asking all of us to apply for the National Teachers Award. So since he requested all of us to apply for the same, we all applied for the National Teachers Award. And I came under the category of CBSE Teachers category. And it was for the first time, it was done on the online platform. So a lot of transparency was there in the selection process. It was done through different stages. In the initial stage, I uploaded all my certificates and other things. And those who qualified for that were called to the second round. So I was asked to upload the remaining documents. So after uploading the remaining documents, in the third stage, the final stage, we were called for the interview. And I was also shortlisted for the interview. And after the interview, before the eminent members of the jury, I presented all my points and I won the CBSE Teacher Award. And the best part of it is that from Kerala, I am the only computer science teacher who has won the CBSE Teacher Award as well as National Award till date. I'm so proud about it, and I'm really indebted to CIT and CRT for that, because all my development or all my growth happened after that. So after winning these awards, I was felicitated by my school, by the sister concerns, then all my about my award had come in the newspapers, then the community, then the residents association, all of them felicitated me. It was a great time for me, something which was like totally new to me, because I'm a very unassuming teacher who just used to do the work and move around, and all of a sudden winning this award got me into the limelight. And what I'm so thankful about is the entire process was automated. A portal was opened that year for the selection process. So everything was very transparent. That was why the teachers who got the award that year were all of them were unknown. They were not popular teachers. They were all hardworking who were not known outside. So through these awards, we were also made known to the outside world. And I'm sure more awards will start happening from my state also. So these are the articles which came in the newspaper regarding myself winning the CBSE award and the National ICT Award. So I was the coordinator of the National Quiz program conducted in the school as part of the 25th year celebrations, and it was telecasted on the net channel. I was also called as a panel member for the panel discussions conducted by the Palikoodam Educational Magazine. Again, the topics were related to ICT. So on 1st June 2020, I took charge as the principal of ICT Public School, Kakinad, Kochi. So that was the time when the pandemic just started and we were all shifting to online mode of teaching. That is when I took charge as the principal. So those 2 years, the past 2 years were in fact a very big a platform for me to expose myself, because that is where all the ICT knowledge which I had, I could impart that to others, and I could impart that to my teachers, and they could all put up all the programs which we used to show on the offline mode, on the online mode also. This is my school, ICT Public School in Kakinad, Kochi. So winning the National ICT Award gave me an opportunity to be invited as a guest speaker in various channels to speak about the ICT. So initially in 2020, when we shifted to the online mode of teaching, there was a big discussion on the news channels about whether it is feasible or what should be the strategy we should adopt, which platform we should adopt. So of course, I resorted to the MHRD guidelines regarding the number of hours we should use in online teaching. So all my expertise I could share on the online media, and we were one of the first schools to introduce online teaching for all the classes from 1 to 12. So I had applied for the G Suite license for my school, and then we started taking class. We created the Google Classroom, and using Google Meet, we took classes for various sections of 1 to 12, abiding to the guidelines shared by MHRD. So we equipped our teachers to handle the classes on the online platform. Of course, there was a lot of havoc in the beginning, but slowly, within a month or within a few months, they all got adjusted to this, and they were in a position, they were capable of doing anything on the online platform, which we were doing on the offline mode. And we conducted a survey among our parents after 3 months of into online teaching, and we got a whopping 95% support from the parents telling that our online lessons are the best. We are conducting it in a very good manner. Then I was called as a guest speaker on the online mode using Zoom and Google Meet. I was a guest speaker for various sessions on online teaching and other areas related with online teaching learning. I also wrote a number of articles on the online magazines during these pandemic times. And I have created we used to have a monthly newsletter called Newscast, which I created using Book Creator software. It was indeed very useful because all the activities which we conducted on the online platform, we could showcase that to our parent community through this Newscast magazine, newsletter in fact. Every month we used to come up with this newscast, which we created using Book Creator. And as I said, all the events, including the opening ceremony, the Interact Club installation, the Model United Nations activities, the investiture ceremony, we did all those using the online mode. We had guests from different parts of the world attending the program using the Google Meet, and we could accommodate our parent community also for all these programs. Even we conducted life skill sessions for the students of classes 1 to 12 on the online mode. The teachers organized the program, the entire batch of the entire classes, the entire one class we accommodated on the Google Meet platform because we had the G Suite license to accommodate more than 100 members. So we could accommodate an entire class on the Google Meet platform and take sessions for them. The teachers had all become very proficient. Of course, in the initial stages, it was a trial and error method, but after that, they were proficient to use technology in the best possible way. Even our students organized programs of their own. The Humanities and the Commerce Department organized Metanoia, their fest, the Commerce and Humanities Fest. So they had conducted dramas and other programs on the online mode. The entire program was planned, organized and executed by the students with the guidelines from the guidance from their teachers. We conducted the literary quiz for class 6, 7 and 8 students. The entire program was planned, organized by class 8 students under the guidance of the English department. So again, that was again an innovative program for the students of classes 6, 7 and 8. All the days of observation we conducted on the online mode. So the Environment Day, the Reading Day, International Anti-Drugs Day, International Yoga Day, Doctors Day, Independence Day, Teachers Day, Engineering Day, Hindi Day. So all the days of observation we conducted in a befitting manner on the online mode, and our students took the videos and shared with us some of those speeches they did live, whereas the other programs they took the video and shared and we presented it. Even many cases the students themselves presented the program, the guidance from the teachers. So these were the various days of observation. And we conducted the inter-house events on the online mode, like inter-house quiz competitions, inter-house debate competitions were conducted on the online mode, and the quiz masters, the timekeepers, the scorers, all those were the children. The children were equipped to organize programs on their own. And the club activities also, even all the club activities, we have conducted it online. We called the experts from outside to organize, to give guidance to the children, and the children took part from their home in the various club activities. They had hands-on experience in the various club activities. This is the club activity of interior decoration, on-table etiquettes. Then during the Olympics, our physical education department gave the Olympic challenge to the students, and the students created different Olympic crafts and exhibited the same. They shared the pictures and videos of the same with the physical education department. And the inter-school event, Kairos, we conducted the inter-school event, participating the schools from in and around Kochi city on the online mode. So 5 events we did as part of the Kairos. The students shared the videos and in front of them, and they also joined the sessions, and the judges evaluated the videos in front of them, and the winners were declared. So we had the formal inauguration, the valedictory function for the inter-school event. We had guests also joining on the online platform. These were the various programs we put up for the inter-school. As part of the inter-school, we had fair, which comprises of the drawing and painting competition, then Medaki, which is the dance competition, Patom, which was puppet show, then there was Truce, which was the drama, then there was music also.
Okay.
So these are the various clippings from our inter-school event, Kairos, which was conducted on the online mode. And we declared the winners also on the online mode during the valedictory function. And this was the various festivities, like the Onam celebrations, the Christmas celebrations. So this was like the hybrid mode. By the time we had started the hybrid mode, so this was conducted. The Christmas program was conducted on the hybrid mode, whereas Onam celebration was entirely on the online mode. So the virtual celebrations which we conducted for the Onam program was in fact telecasted by the national channels, because we had actually paired, the CBSE had paired us with Himachal Pradesh, and we had the online program with Himachal Pradesh, the school in Himachal Pradesh, the Cambridge school in Kullu. So we are for our honor program, we invited the Cambridge School. So students from the Cambridge School also took part in the program. They also presented their items, and our students presented the items. So this was conducted in our school, and this was given a wide coverage by the various media in Kerala, because this was for the first time, because this was immediately when we started, the pandemic started, that was when we conducted this virtual Onam program by inviting the school from Himachal Pradesh, our parent school. We conducted the Talent Fest also. There were a number of programs in the Talent Fest, like the literary events, dance, music, drama. So for the students of our school, under every category, we organized programs and we declared the winners and we gave the prizes. The students came to the school and collected the prizes. So on the online mode, we organized all the items which we usually conduct as part of the Talent Fest to unleash the potentials of the students. So we conducted that also on the online mode. And the physical department conducted the fitness challenge. The students were asked to upload the videos of various exercise regimes they were trained, and that was uploaded, and the physical education department evaluated the same and gave prizes to the students. So all the departments carried out their activities meticulously on the online platform. And the culmination was the annual day. We conducted the annual day also on the online mode. All the programs were recorded and we telecasted that. The program we had exactly as we carry out on the offline mode, the same way with the inauguration, with the address, the presidential address, with the presentations from the guests and the various cultural programs, then the annual report, everything was there as we used to conduct on the offline mode. So that was in fact the culmination of the online mode of teaching learning. And then before we completely shifted to the offline mode, we had the hybrid classes. So the management had upgraded the entire classes from 1 to 12 was converted to hybrid classes. Interactive intelligent panels were installed in all the classrooms. The webcam was also installed. Then we took a good internet connection and the cables were laid for proper accessing of internet. So the entire classrooms were revamped for the hybrid classes, and we started the hybrid classes in November. Of course, after a few months we had to close it down, but again we opened in February the hybrid classes. So our teachers were trained in that also. So those students who were healthy, they came to school, and those who were affected by COVID attended the classes from home. So we actually successfully implemented the hybrid classrooms also on the online mode. So I got opportunities to discuss about the impact of online lessons on the students and what should be our modus operandi to reduce that negative impact of online mode. So I went for various discussions. So that was my journey on the, as an ICT awardee, my journey and how I could help my school, especially ICT Public School, Kakinad, Kochi, during the time of pandemic. So being an ICT awardee winner and an ICT teacher, I could help them in a lot of areas. So conducting both the curricular and co-curricular activities of my school.
Definitely, your 2.5 decade, old journey is very inspiring for all of us. And in 1997, as you have started your career as computer teacher, and in 2017, there is a long way of 2 decades, right? Then you became a national ICT awardee. So how would you describe these 2 decades, in a word or in emotion? How would you like to describe it?
When I started my career, of course, it was not as promising as now because I was a single computer science teacher in the school. So you can think about my plight. There was nobody to help me. And of course, computer science was not given much importance those days.
Yes.
So I didn't have anybody to ask to clarify my doubts. So everything I have to invent. In the sense, it was a trial and error session for me. I try out things. So wherever I went wrong, I modified. So I made it a point to update myself with what is happening around. So I used to regularly take up small diploma courses. So I used to update myself. So in due course of time, the other teachers also joined. Then, of course, I used to be actively engaged in all the ICT related activities of the school, whether it is office-related work, I used to help them. Even the school PTA, I used to help them with the ICT-related things. So that, in fact, helped me during the exchange program, because the PTA actually nominated my name for the student exchange program with Watchung Institution, because it was a program which was funded by the Parent-Teacher Association. So because I used to help them with various computer-related tasks, like maybe for the summer camp, I used to help them with the registration and other work related with the computer. And for the various programs also, I used to develop videos and videos, presentations, and invitations and program sheets for them. So in every area of the school, in fact, my influence was there, because being an ICT teacher, that time the teachers were not proficient in the use of ICT, so definitely they all looked onto the computer teachers for help. So we have to help them in every aspect. So we actually hand-holded them and helped them to implement the various ICT-related technologies in their teaching learning. In every area, of course, the development was on a slow pace, but then over time, of course, slowly, we could implement new techniques and new devices, new software in the school. So that was in a slow process, but every year was a different year for me, because either there will be new software to teach, or there will be new equipment which I have to learn how to use it. So every year, one thing or the other would change, and some development was happening. Then it went on like that, but then as a computer science teacher, of course, your exposure was very limited. You will be always in the backdrop, in the background, because mainly your area will be to develop the videos and other things in the backdrops of various events. But then the winning the ICT award, the chance, so I'm really thankful to my school authorities for letting me apply for the ICT award, because even I didn't have any hope that I'll win it, because we are in this part of the country, and then none of the people from this area, I don't know whether he has applied for it, or none of them has won the award, in the sense from the CBSE background. Of course, from the state schools, there are the teachers who have won that ICT award. From the CBSE, none of the teachers have won award from Kerala. So first time when I applied for it, it was a Herculean task, a lot of information I had to gather, but then that actually helped me to document my work. I started documenting my work, I started collecting the photographs, and I applied for the same. Then I was called to Delhi, so before a big audience, the CIT actually made me speak for the introduction session. They asked me to show my presentation and explain. So that itself was a very big opportunity for me. That is, in fact, there sir gave me the opportunity to start the session, start the process. So I did my presentation before the jury, but that was not for selection process. It was just as a correction process for everyone. So how we are presenting, what is the modifications we need to do in that. So my actual presentation was only on the final day. So before a big audience, even my trip to Delhi was for the first time. So as part of this presentation, I visited Delhi for the first time. But of course, after that, I got many opportunities to visit Delhi. But then what I'm so thankful to CIT, NCRT is about their hospitality. I don't have words to explain, because coming from this part of the country, how well they accommodated me. Every employee over there was so cordial. Their hospitality is beyond words to explain. And every time I visit NCRT, I feel as if I'm visiting my second home. They never made me feel like I am somebody from a faraway place. Because so much they made me part of their own. That is the best part about CIT. NCRT, there are sir and his team, Indu ma'am, Angel ma'am, everybody. I'm very thankful. And it got me an opportunity to mingle with the teachers from all across the country. The teachers, mainly the teachers from the state syllabus. So I got an opportunity to mingle with people from all across the country. So we still keep in touch with each other. So that friendship, that bondness, we still continue. Of course, limitations are there. Maybe we may not be frequently mingling as we used to do earlier because of our job and other things. The life got changed after winning the NCRT award. So till that time, I was a mediocre teacher or somebody who was always in the backdrop. But then after that, after winning the CIT NCRT award, there was no looking back. It was like climbing the stairs one by one, and today I could become the principal of a school. It was because I was selected, just because I had all these awards in my kitchen. So
that's all your That's all your hard work and your dedication towards your job, I must say. And as I had a question regarding the same, as you rightly mentioned in your initial remarks, in 1997 when you started your career as a computer teacher, that was the time when the environment is not very much friendly for the computers. As you rightly mentioned, you were the only computer teacher in the vicinity. So did you have some pressure or any type of problematic things regarding the career you have chosen?
Initial days, I had the feeling that we were not considered in par with the other teachers. But that was only the first few months I had that feeling. But then later my management made me understand that there's nothing like that. Everybody is treated equally. Because initially I thought, because I had the feeling that the computer teachers are not taken on a permanent basis like the other teachers. So every year it is taken on a contract basis, and after 1 year you will be sent off. But there was nothing like that. That was just a wrong belief on my part. Then the best part is that, of course, a lot of challenges were there. That is there in every field, but then being in the computer science field, of course, since new developments are happening on a fast pace, and the school expects you to update yourself with all those developments. And whenever they ask something, you should be ready with that. That was a big challenge. It was a challenge as well as it was a stepping stone to success also, because actually I keep myself abreast with the changes and I was ready to take up any challenges. Because it gave me the confidence to take up challenges, because as it comes, I used to take up, I used to learn it and implement it. That was there. Then perseverance is a very big factor. You have to pull on, because if you give up, that is the end of it. You have to pull on. So I just kept on doing that, and what happened was over the years, I had become the head examiner in informatics practices. So right from, I just started my career, and then over the years, I just used to go for the evaluation, and I never thought that I would become the head examiner or I rise to that level. But the perseverance and the continued dedication, you will have a lot of setbacks, but you have to bear all those. You have to be persistent in what you are doing, and then I could rise up to the head examiner post. And later on, after winning all these awards, of course, I could get the administration post also. Challenges are there. That was true. It was a big challenge.
Right.
It was a very big challenge. But then, of course, by the grace of God, I could.
So you have.
I could continue in that.
So you have accepted all the challenges with a smile and moving ahead in a positive direction.
I have accepted all the challenges. Of course, I got a lot of help from my colleagues, from my school authorities, from the Parent Teacher Association, so from the parent community. So I have got a lot of help, and of course challenges were there, but I could overcome all those because I have got, at the right moment, I have got help from the right people.
Right. So now we would like to move ahead in your journey and try to revisit the year 2014 when you went to visit England in 2014. So when we see our leaders, our teachers, or any of our esteemed persons from the society visited other countries for their respective areas. So what was the learning outcome of your England tour in the field of education?
I got the opportunity to visit Summerley Community Primary School in West Sussex. So they had classes only till 5. So what I noticed over there is the sports education. So they have experts, people who have won Olympiads and other things. They come to school and give coaching to the children from a very young age. So they were like, the coaching was given in the area of sports from a very young age. So they could easily, these children, once they grow up, they will be given extra training in that, and they were winning all the prizes, which our country, we are not getting that much prizes in the sports field because we are molding them right from a young age. Even though we are molding, I doubt whether we are offering in experts from the field of sports. So here the eminent people, they come to the school and give training to smaller children. And quite a lot of time was devoted for the physical education classes, training. The same thing about the ICT also. As I mentioned, they started teaching programming from a very young age. So even I was reluctant to implement that, thinking that can we teach programming from a very young age? But now I have read the articles that when we teach programming from a young age, actually their capability in mathematics, reasoning, analytical thinking actually increases. It is not alone the programming which we are teaching. It is we are making them capable to solve various problems. So the analytical skills and problem-solving skills are improved as they learn programming. So it is a very big exposure to be the school, the culture, how it is being done, especially a school called Royal Dock School in London. It was an inclusive school. How much importance they are giving for inclusive education. They accept the students, the students with the learning disabilities. They are being accepted into the mainstream. Of course, the parents can accompany, they can volunteer, and a lot of exemptions are given to these students. So the inclusive education is something which is remarkable in schools abroad. So again, the importance they give for specialization in various areas. So vocational teaching, vocational training which they impart. The Royal Dock School is actually catering to students of higher grade. So they are giving training in various vocational areas. So there are specializations in that, in art and craft, in carpentry. So experts are there, and the students can choose that they will move from one session to another during the various studies and get themselves trained in that.
Right, right. Good to know your experience, Mrs. Paul. One last question I have in this session, because we have hardly 5-7 minutes to conclude this session. So moving ahead, as we have seen all your efforts, all your tremendous efforts, I must say, to handle the COVID, as you conducted every day, every activity, every class online, right, in an online manner. So we have seen an activity of Olympic craft. So what was the reason, what was the idea behind it to conceive the idea? How did you connect that Olympic 2020, which was happened in Tokyo, and that this craft activity to connect with the children with the sports activity? So what was the reason behind it?
The entire credit goes to the physical education department. The physical education department, under their HOD, Mr. Benjit KK, they actually conceived this idea. So since by that time they were all proficient in the usage of technology, they have come up with this idea. So related to the logos and other things in the Olympiad, they asked the students. So they actually wanted the students to learn all those things. So the students were encouraged to create the crafts and share it.
All right, so
snap the video of the scene and share it. It was completely a project of the physical education department.
So we can say it was an interest arousal activity for all the students, and we can see some future winners of Olympics from Karnataka, from your God's own country, Kerala.
Definitely. Yes.
So is there any specific sport where students are literally practicing for Olympics? Any specific any specific sport in your school?
We are actually giving training for badminton, for basketball. So actually our school is a very sports-friendly school. So we actually encourage students to participate, to take training. They're taking training from outside. Plus we are roping in experts here. Recently we conducted a summer camp. So we roped in the experts from the field of football, basketball, badminton. So they give training in the months of April and May to the students. We have vast ground. And our management has plans to start a sports complex very soon. So we are encouraging the sports, and then right now what we are doing is, as part of the summer camp and after school hours, we are giving training to the students in badminton, football, basketball, etc.
All right, so looking forward to see the results of these camps and trainings, and as well as so many things we have find out in this really amazing session. So Mrs. Suma Paul, thank you very much for your time, and definitely your 2.5 decade long career, which is still going on, and as you rightly mentioned in your entire session, momentum should be going on. So thank you very much for joining with us, and thanks for sharing your journey with us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you very much to CIT and CRT for giving me this opportunity. It was an amazing and awesome session, in fact. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Pleasure to have you and to know your journey. This is our webinar session, as you are watching on PM eVidya channels. So would request you to please come on the screen. अभी हम आपको ये भी बता दें कि ये जो नेशनल ICT अवॉर्डीज हैं, इनकी ये जो सतत यात्रा है, ये यूं ही जारी रहने वाली है. आप स्क्रीन पर देख सकते हैं जो अब आने वाला नेशनल ICT अवार्ड्स हैं, उनके लिए जो नॉमिनेशंस हैं, जो रजिस्ट्रेशंस हैं, दे आर ओपन. सो काइंडली वॉच द स्क्रीन प्लीज. ये आप देख रहे हैं राष्ट्रीय ICT पुरस्कार 2020 और 2021 के लिए जो पंजीकरण है वो प्रारंभ हो चुके हैं. नामांकन और आवेदन जमा करने की जो अंतिम तिथि है वो है 31 जुलाई 2022. तो आप ऐसा ही करें. This is the National ICT Awards for 2020 and 2021. Registration is open now. Last date for nomination and submission is 31st July 2022. और आपको इससे जुड़ी हुई कोई भी जानकारी यदि चाहिए है तो आप हमारी वेबसाइट ज़रूर चेक करें, which is ictaward.ncert.gov.in और ncert.nic.in। पंजीकरण प्रारंभ हो चुके हैं और मुझे ऐसी उम्मीद है कि हमारे साथ जो इस प्रकार के नेशनल ICT अवॉर्डीज़ जुड़ते हैं उनकी ये जो यात्रा है ये सतत यूं ही जारी रहने वाली है। आपने ये जो पोस्टर्स अभी देखे हैं, जो इन्फॉर्मेशंस आपने देखी हैं, ये आपके लिए ही थी। हमें इंतज़ार रहेगा, 31 जुलाई तक इसकी डेट है और उसके बाद हमें फिर कुछ नए टीचर्स, कुछ नए ऐसे लोग मिलने जा रहे हैं जिन्होंने अपना पूरा जीवन इस कड़ी में लगा दिया कि कैसे जो हमारी जो शिक्षा का स्तर है, जो शिक्षा का क्षेत्र है, उसको और बेहतर बनाया जाए और बच्चों को कितने आसान तरीके से पढ़ाया जाए ताकि वो भी बेहतर कर सकें। फिलहाल हमारा ये जो वेबिनार का सेशन था जिसमें आपने आज देखा जर्नी ऑफ अ नेशनल ICT अवॉर्डी मिसेस सुमा पॉल, शी इज़ द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ असीसी विद्या निकेतन पब्लिक स्कूल कक्कनाड कोची केरला। ये इस वेबिनार सेशन यहीं समाप्त होता है। आप कहीं मत जाइएगा, अभी थोड़ी ही देर में हाजिर होते हैं अगला सेशन लेकर जो कि सहयोग का है, जिसमें हम बात करते हैं मेंटल वेलनेस और मेंटल वेलबीइंग की। एंड टुडे इज द टॉपिक रीइंफोर्समेंट इन द क्लासरूम। तो कहीं मत जाइएगा, अभी हाजिर होते हैं थोड़ी ही देर में। देखते रहिए PM eVidya चैनल से। नमस्कार।